So what's the Grape Explorer talking about today? Well, we are talking about a very interesting property that we actually represent here in the New York, New Jersey metro area. And this is called Chateau Calon. This is actually owned by the Boidron family, run by Emilion. We had a chance to visit Emilion and see this property, but one of the oldest properties in what we call the Montagne area, and also Saint George. So if we look on a map here, and you can see Saint George right here, it's that little tiny yellow strip here. Of course, this is Saint Emilion right here, this little tiny strip here, and then Montagne is right here, if you can see. This little yellow is Saint George, and then the blue there is Montagne. Montagne, obviously a much larger zone, but these wines are what we call the satellites. And why do we call them the satellites? Because they're on the outer banks of Saint Emilion. So the satellites include Montagne, which we have here, Lussac, Saint George, and these are considered to be the finest. Puissegon right here, and these are what we call outside the boundary of Saint Emilion. That's why we call them satellites. So they have the right to be able to call themselves Saint Emilion, but of course, within Saint Emilion, they put the village. So if you're actually in Saint Emilion and you want to visit Montagne, you just drive not even 10 minutes away, and then you get this beautiful little village of Montagne. And then at the top of the hill, as you're driving to Montagne, you will actually see what's called St. George. It's a very, very tiny area. There is not that many producers in St. George. You'll find more of the Montagne wines. And if you look right here, this made it into Ferret's book. The family goes back to 1840 that actually owned Chateau Calon. And Calon is the highest elevation in all of that area. They're the highest vineyards. Chateau Calon. So that's the reason why. Very interesting limestone soil, a lot of mineral energy to these wines. When you smell these wines, you get that Merlot characteristic because this is mostly Merlot, and you're going to get a dash of Cabernet Sauvignon and a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon as well. But again, you get that really bright freshness in the nose. These wines age beautifully. You can put these wines down for like 20 years. In fact, when Emilion started breaking out some wines, he was showing us wines from 2000 vintage and beyond, and said he did quite well in the Asian market with older wines, and they have quite a cachet of older vintages. I decided to bring in the 2019s as well as some 16, but you get that beautiful red currant nose right off the bat. Lots of energy behind this wine. Beautiful silky tannins. And you can actually taste that acidity structure from the soil composition and that limestone soil. These are fabulous wines. They fly under the radar. You know what that means? That means value. That means that these wines can be had for under $25 a bottle. So these are great wines. You'll never taste wines like this anywhere in the world. So that soil composition really sings through on these wines. Again, this is the Grape Explorer, talking about grapes and talking about Bordeaux.